March 2023 is in the books, so I'm here to tell you exactly how the real estate market performed in the first quarter of 2023 and what we might expect to see as the year goes on. Now, some of these stats absolutely shocked me, so if you're thinking of buying or selling, you're going to want to see this. Let's go. Hey everybody, it's your friend Kyle Winn, and if you've never seen any of my videos, I am your real estate expert here in Southern California, specifically Southwest Riverside County. I help people buy, sell, and invest in real estate here in Southern California. Now, the real estate market was wild in 2022, as you might remember, but today we're going to see how it performed in the first quarter of 2023. Now, real estate is always a popular topic in the news, and you'll often find some conflicting reports. So let's cut through all of that noise and see exactly what's happening here at home in Riverside County. But before we do that, do me a huge favor and please hit that subscribe button and hit the little bell so you never miss any of my monthly market update videos. The number of new listings that hit the market has been pretty constant month over month this year so far, at an average of just about 2,700 homes per month in the first quarter of 2023. Now, you may have been hearing that there are not very many new listings coming to the market, and this is true here in Riverside County, as we usually average right around 4,000 homes per month in the first quarter of the year. Now, this tells us that we do not have many people looking to sell their home at the moment, but the number of new listings tends to hit an annual high somewhere between April and June, so I would expect to see an increase in new listings over the next few months. The number of monthly closed sales tends to bottom out for the year in January, which was the case this year at about 1,550. But since then, it has been on a steep upward trajectory with over 2,500 closed sales in March. Now, for this time of year, we would typically expect to see around 3,000 sales per month, so sales are down about 15 to 20% from where we would expect them to be. However, I want you to compare this to what I just told you about the number of new listings. During the first quarter, the number of new listings stayed pretty constant month over month, but the number of closed sales is increasing by about 25% month over month. So what does that mean? Well, let's find out. Let's talk about month supply, which is how long it would take to sell all the properties that are currently listed if no new listings came on the market. Now, this metric is a key indicator of whether we're in a seller's market, a neutral market, or a buyer's market. Now, we say a seller's market is when the month supply is less than 3 months, and a neutral market is in the ballpark of 3 to 5 months, and above that, we're in what we call a buyer's market. In Riverside County, the month supply was 2.7 months at the beginning of the year, which dropped to 2.5 months at the end of the first quarter. Now, since the number of new listings stayed pretty constant during this time, but the number of closed sales increased significantly, it makes sense that the month supply decreased over that period, since we now have less supply and higher demand. We are still in a seller's market, and if the month supply continues to decrease, we may cement ourselves in a seller's market for quite some time. Now, inventory is low, so buyers don't have too many homes to choose from right now, and even though we've seen a slight increase in buyer demand lately, there are far fewer buyers in the market compared to the last couple of years, making it easier for buyers to secure a home today without bidding against a bunch of other offers. Now, for you sellers out there, even though it is considered a seller's market, don't get too excited thinking you can just list your house and get dozens of offers on the first day. I just told you there are fewer buyers out there compared to the buying frenzy of 2020 and 2021. So let's see what it takes to successfully sell a house today. One metric we use to understand the current market is the median number of days on market. This was at 42 days in January, which increased to 44 days in February, and then boom, it dropped to 31 days in March. Now, I'm sure you've heard plenty of people complaining that nobody is buying a house right now because interest rates are too high and who can afford it and whatever else. But I just told you that homes are now selling 13 days faster than just 1 month ago. This is the start of the hyperactive springtime market we typically see every year. Now, this is great news for sellers and even more evidence that we are in a seller's market. But for you buyers out there, if this trend continues, it could get very difficult to successfully purchase a home with so many other eager buyers out there in the marketplace. Now, do you remember people trying to buy a home in 2021 and early 2022 when buyers were outbid on every house by a dozen other offers? Well, that's when the median number of days on market was less than 10 days. And if this drastic decline continues, we could find ourselves there again in a couple of months. If you've seen any of my other market update videos, you've heard me say that the average sale price tends to bottom out sometime in the last few months of the year and then starts to increase again in the first part of the new year. Now this year is no exception, as the average sale price bottomed out in December at almost $608,000, and since then it has steadily increased to over $654,000 in March, which is the highest it's been since June of 2022. Now the average sale price in Riverside County hit an all-time record high of $711,000 in April of 2022, but now at about $654,000, the average sale price is still higher than any time before 2022. Now it's a great time for you homeowners thinking about selling, since values are higher than any time before 2022, and they seem to be on the way up again as we head into that busy springtime market. Plus, you want to keep in mind that every year the average sale price tends to peak somewhere between April and June, and knowing that the median number of days on market is now at just 31 days, you should really consider listing your home for sale in the month of April, which means you should be calling your favorite realtor right now in order to maximize your proceeds here in 2023. One topic we see in the news every day is mortgage interest rates. During the first quarter of 2023, the interest rates for a 30-year fixed rate mortgage hovered right around the mid 6% range. Now I know this number looks scary to some of you thinking about buying a home, especially when some of your friends got an interest rate in the 2s and the 3s a couple years ago, but I would really encourage you to reach out to me and I will show you many ways to help you afford to make that move you want to make. Now, personally, I honestly think it is the best time for buyers to shop for a home than any time in the last few years. Because as a buyer today, you have less buyers to compete against, although buyer activity is increasing again. Homes are about 5 to 10% cheaper today than they were just 1 year ago. You don't have to bid above appraised value and waive all your contingencies just to get an offer accepted. And if you're considering a new home, these builders are still offering some amazing incentives like discounted interest rates, free upgrades, free solar panels, closing cost credits, and a whole bunch of other incentives. Well, I'm going to keep studying the market here in Riverside County, and I'll continue to deliver updates just for you. And if you are thinking of buying or selling, please call me, text me, or email me today. And until I hear from you, I suggest you keep an eye on these stats that we discussed today to give you an idea of where this market may be heading. But if you don't want to take the time to go and study all these numbers and stuff, just hit that subscribe button, hit that little bell, and you'll be notified every time I release another monthly market update video. Well, that wraps up my March 2023 Q1 market update, and I will see you in the next video.